Keep in mind that in the world of early childhood education, there is a fine line between reality and make-believe. So this is my story. I would like to begin by thanking my students who never cease to amaze me and who frequently remind me of how much I still have to learn. For a few hours a day, these precious little ones let go of their parents and come join me where the wild things are. They have taught this wild thing standing in front of you standing in front of you many things, and they constantly tame me with the magic trick of staring right into my eyes. A trick that I am ashamed to confess I took for granted for most of my life. I also want to thank the families of my students for inviting me into the richness of their home cultures and for working with me toward the goal of nurturing their sons and daughters into successful global citizens. Sometimes we speak different languages or we do not share the same faith, but there is one thing we always have in common, and that is the ambition of building a bright and happy future for our children. Maria Furman, Alexandre Lopes, and Miriam Martinez, thank you for being here, for being my partners in the education of our children, and for trusting and supporting me. Thanking the families of my students reminds me of those who will love me, even if I put salmon in their parkas, ermine in their mittens, and lemmings in their mukluks, because regardless what I do, I will forever and for always be their dear one. Thank you, Zilda Lopes and Enil Lopes, for believing in a holistic education and for ensuring that me, your son, was provided with the best education available. Thank you also, Lucia Laura and John Paul Sam, for your unconditional love and support. My personal family is not the only loving and supportive family I have. I also have an amazing professional family. Carolyn Mays, Dion Forbes, Marlene Cunningham, you are an amazing team. I feel fortunate to share a classroom with you. LaVey Daniels, Mary Kirkland, I will never forget the professional harmony that we shared during the time we worked together. Denise Murphy, thank you for constantly sharing your kindness and professional expertise with me. Erica Holtz Stevens, you are the best professional partner I could have ever dreamed of having. It is such a joy to have you in my life. Thank you for everything. I have told you about my students, their families, and my families. And now I'm going to tell you how I got to be standing in front of you today. About a decade ago, I was having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And I thought I would move back to Brazil. But before I packed my bags, I ran into Robin Shane and Roseanne Waxler, who reminded me that some things are like that even in Brazil. I listened to their words, and I swam beyond the coral reef to a deep cave where I found a wise octopus named Ronnie Tables, who said, "Come work for me and share your shimmering scales with every fish you encounter in this great educational ocean." And before I could tell her that she was wrong, that I had no shimmering scales to share, she disappeared in a cloud of ink. Not knowing what to do, on Monday, I ate through an internship with the loving and brilliant Paula Blair. On Tuesday, I ate through a pre-K SPED position in the vivacious Carroll City Elementary School. On Wednesday, I ate through a National Board of Professionals Teaching Standards certification and a Project Rise teacher leader position. On Thursday, I ate through a master's degree at the University of Miami and a current doctorate at Florida International University. On Friday, I ate through an interview and an observation with two Teacher of the Year committees. That day, I had a stomachache. On Saturday, after finding out that the Teacher of the Year luncheon had been postponed, I felt too anxious. So I built a cocoon around myself, and I stayed inside my cocoon for 2 weeks. Finally, on Sunday, I nibbled a hole in my cocoon, and I became the 2013 Francisco R. Walker Miami. Thank you for your intervention. Ronnie, I miss you, and I am and forever will be grateful. Paula Blair, I love you, and I owe you big time. Dolores Mendoza, and the beautiful and most supportive team of professionals under your guidance. Thank you for making my journey as a pre-K SPED teacher a successful and joyful one. Patricia Bloodworth Johnson, and the amazing team of professionals at Carroll City Elementary. Thank you for choosing me to represent our school. I hope I have made you as proud of me as I am to share my workplace with you. Joy Vickers, Alanis Love, and the Head Start team at Carroll City, thank you for the successful professional collaboration that we have established. Carol Guthrie, Amanda Heineman, Karen Gant, and Sandy Joseph, look where Project Rise has taken me. Thank you for all your support. My professors and colleagues at the University of Miami and at Florida International University, thank you for helping me become a competent teacher. Finally, members of the North Central Region and of the District Teacher of the Year committees, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for this honor and this privilege. Alan Sapa, I have not forgotten you. I could have thanked you many times throughout this speech, but I decided to wait until the very end to thank you for all that you have done for me. You are my mentor, my friend, and my confidant. In fact, Ellen, you are my epiphany, because you make me see the divine in myself. And I cannot thank you enough for that. So, in your honor, Last Supper. I challenge all the teachers of Miami-Dade County Public Schools to become their students' epiphany. I challenge you, Miami-Dade County Public School teachers, to get your students to see the divine in themselves, whatever the divine might be to them. I know it is a big challenge, but your students deserve it. Remember, you're not alone in the pursuit of such ideal. Look around. Look at the social capital that you have in your colleagues, your students, and your students' families. Use it. And on those days when you can't find the divine in yourselves, do me a favor. Go to the Miami-Dade County Public Schools portal. Click on the Employees tab. And look at me. And I will be there, looking right back at you. Then, I want you to ask me, Alex, what do you see? So let's practice. At the count of 3, I want all of you to ask me, Alex, what do you see? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Alex, what do you see?
I see beautiful teachers looking at me.